We should be taking care of each other and taking care of the people and making sure their basic rights are fulfilled first and foremost.
Bex is really good at taking care of people when he's in a good mood.
If I just got laid and then I'm like walking around and I see a homeless person, I'm like way more likely to like give them like $10. Homeless people are, really rooting for me.
Catastrophes are happening everywhere, but don't worry, we're here. You've done a lot of work for the decriminalization.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I've done a lot of marijuana, but yeah.
Well, have you? What's your best memory in Athens?
Best memory
Time
of
is
Athens.
up. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Sully Steamers. Thank you so much for the delicious bagels. We appreciate it. Thank you, Tim, for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
The Underdawgs podcast. Catastrophes are happening everywhere, but don't worry, we're here. This episode is sponsored by Bar South and Sully Steamers. It is an episode that means to change the way we approach politics, too, amongst young people, no?
I completely agree, because in this episode that we're going to have for you tonight, we have a very special person on, a very special guest.
I wrote an entire introduction.
We're going off script. Anyway, this guy has over 15 years of experience with public service and community organizing in Athens. Over the years, he has helped people who are facing homelessness find housing. He has pushed for the decriminalization of marijuana and worked for, big round of applause for that. And worked for the Zero Fare Public Transit Athens. Between the many, ladies and gentlemen, please give me a round of applause. It's Tim Denson. We know it's Tim Denson. It's Mr. Denson.
All right. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Denson, I want to be like you when I grow up. You know, you run for politics, you sit down at the bar, drink a beer with the boys.
Yeah.
That's part of your job.
This is part of my job right now, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is this one of your favorite or least favorite parts of your job?
No, this is one of my favorite. If I can drink beer while I'm campaigning, that's definitely one of my favorite parts of my job, yeah.
What are we drinking tonight? Maybe we'll get 3 more.
I mean, Tropicalia, I honestly cannot go wrong. I mean, solid IPA, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And beers are important, and so are the policies that we're going to be looking at in Athens as we will have a new mayor coming up soon.
That's right.
I want to know, to get to know you better as a person, I want to know if there was one thing right now that you could change in Athens, snapping your fingers, what would that be?
To have housing for every single person who needs it. Yeah. If I could snap my fingers to make sure every single person who's unhoused here, every single person who is housing vulnerable, every single family that is sleeping on a friend's couch, to have all of them be housed in a comfortable, quality housing, that would be my dream, yeah.
I understand. And I respect that. I respect that. And, I respect that because as we see, there's so many situations where some people are left behind.
Yep.
There's so many situations where we, amongst ourselves, feel so distant.
Totally, yeah.
I think right now this is a historical period in time where we generally, as human beings, as Americans, I'm speaking as an Italian-American, but as Americans, I think we feel very distant.
Yep.
I went the other day both to the Turning Point event and to the protest where I saw you.
Saw you guys outside, yep.
Yeah.
And we talked about it with Bex towards the end, and we said, I'm so drained.
We're in a time in our country right now where people just do not want to talk to each other at all. The protesters don't want anything to do with Turning Point. Turning Point doesn't want anything to do with the protesters. And Max and I were kind of talking about this last night. How much do you think social media amplifies the extremism on both sides and just kind of builds this distance between them? Yeah,
no, I think social media has become a really big problem in general because it creates silos that we all exist in, right? And it creates these like echo chambers that we exist in. And not only that, but and that's bad enough. I think this also goes towards the second point I want to make, which I feel like is really toxic, is that there's a lot of people that when they get behind a computer or a phone and they're behind a keyboard, they no longer think of themselves as human beings on the other end coming out. I've definitely met a lot of people who have said absolutely terrible things about me and to me on social media, who I know for a fact would never do that to my face. So there's a little bit of a disconnect somehow that somehow it's like a different world that you can exist in. And I think that has created some real problems that people exist in that separated world and we're not coming together in spaces like this, actually engaging with each other. And that's why a big part of my campaign has been about how can we have face-to-face interactions with voters, with people. That's why we've knocked on thousands and thousands of doors. That's why we're holding community events in different neighborhoods, holding picnics, holding all these kind of things so people can actually come together and interact and talk face-to-face.
Yeah. And I think, there's a big polarization. And one thing I was noticing about this campaign as a whole is that you and Dexter Fisher, who are two candidates that have good odds of winning the elections, both have a really long beard.
Oh, sure.
How much of that plays a role into winning these Athens elections?
I guess it depends on who you talk to, because I talked to some other people who said, like, if you shave off that beard, more people will vote for you.
Do you think so?
I absolutely don't, because honestly, if there's voters out there, if you're watching right now, and you're like, I would vote for that guy if he didn't have a beard, you're not going to vote for me. That's I'm sorry. If there was a person who's like, I would vote for him if they didn't have a beard. Like, no, you're not. You wouldn't vote for me, and that's fine. But don't blame the beard. Like, don't vote for him. Whatever.
They're just jealous.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but honestly, seriously, if I shave this beard off, I immediately look like I'm like a 23-year-old. So
really,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
and my wife would be very upset. So it's a complete non-starter.
Okay.
It's a great competition between you and Fisher to win this election. You guys both have long beards. You guys are both good candidates. We've had both of you guys on the show. If Fisher wins, he will be the first black mayor of Athens.
It's true.
And if you win, as far as our research is concerned, you will be the first mayor who has previously been arrested.
Oh, maybe. It's possible.
Can you maybe talk about that a little
Sure.
bit?
That's funny.
In 2017, so one of the things, again, like I've been a community organizer first and foremost, and I was working with a bunch of different groups trying to get Medicaid expansion to happen here in Georgia so that we can actually make sure that every single Georgian has health care. To me, it's a complete no-brainer. It blows my mind that we still haven't done it. But in 2017, I was part of a group, along with now Senator Raphael Warnock, before he was senator. We went in multiple groups and protested at the state capitol using civil disobedience, saying that we were not going to leave until the state legislature took up legislation to expand Medicaid and give everybody health care. So I was part of one of those groups in which then they arrested me. Took me to the...
But what did you do? Did you tie yourself to a tree? What did you do?
We went to the main stairs that lead up to the chambers, the legislative chambers, and we all knelt across the stairs so that nobody could pass through. We had, the Georgia State Patrol came up to us. They said, "Are you going to move?" We just kept singing songs, and we wouldn't move, so they picked us up and carried us to a paddy wagon and took us to jail. And I was told that to expect to be in jail for about an hour and a half, that we already had bail set up, they were going to get us out. Once we got in there, the rumor was that Governor Kemp was very upset at us, and so they kept moving us around, and we were actually in jail for over 24 hours being moved to different rooms throughout the entire day. So, kind of sucked.
That does kind of suck.
Interesting.
How was the food?
Food was absolutely terrible.
Okay.
It was literally bologna sandwiches.
But something that gets you close to your young voters, all the underage drinkers who've been brought to prison every once in a while. But going into one of your other major points in your campaign, you said that if I become mayor, I will do everything I can to slow down or stop the work of ICE.
Yeah,
the
definitely.
federal entity.
Sure.
Okay? We've seen a lot of other governors and mayors fail in this.
Yeah.
We've heard Dexter Fisher last week coming on this show and saying, if anybody tells you that they can do something about ICE, that is not true.
Yeah, I saw him say that, and I guess I'm not sure if he wasn't paying attention to the news when the city of Social Circle, just about an hour away from here, when they were going to build the warehouse, the city of Social Circle turned off the water and the sewage so they couldn't actually use the warehouse. That was a local government taking action to stop ICE from being able to come into their community.
Would you be willing to take that same local Athens, say, turn off the water or the sewage?
If they try to build an ICE warehouse here, I would definitely be willing to use that tactic, yes.
Would that affect, just regular people?
No, they were talking about the lines to the actual building, so.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. But the way that the water, you can you can turn off. I mean,
valves
yeah, exactly. You can turn off.
I'm not a plumber, guys. All right.
But yeah, just for the, and that's what they did in Social Circle right here in Georgia. We've also seen other cities in California, Minnesota, where they have passed ordinances stating that if ICE comes in, they cannot use any kind of county resources at all, even using their parking lots, using their buildings, using their camera infrastructure, any of those things. So I would be pushing for an ordinance such as that so that we can make sure that we're not giving any of our local resources to ICE. So there are things that we can do. This is one of, I think, the biggest differences between me and some of my fellow candidates who are running against me, is that I really put in the work and the research about what's happening in other communities, what other governments are doing, what's possible, and even push the envelope about what is possible. Again, when I ran for mayor the first time, back in 2014, I had on my platform zero fare public transit. I had on there an eviction prevention program. I had on there a low-income homestead exemption to lower property taxes for low-income homeowners. I was told in debates, you can't do these things. You can't do. They're not. You can't get them done.
And it's funny that you say that because I wrote this quote down.
Yeah.
I found it on the flagpole, and it was you saying we need a public transportation system that's reliable and affordable, so that a car isn't an absolute necessity.
Sure. Yeah.
How much do you think things have changed since that statement of yours, and in a positive or in a negative way?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've gotten there. We have a complete zero-fare public transit system, the largest zero-fare public transit system in the Southeast. And last year, Athens Transit ended up recording its highest ridership it's ever had in its existence, going back to, I think, 1972. So it is working. And, you know, we got to keep on pushing for things. And really what I want to do is make a community. I don't want to make a community where you can't drive a car. Of course, cars. But I want a truly multimodal
Freedom
community.
of cars.
Yeah. So that
I didn't even know we had trains, if I'm being honest.
we don't have trains. Bus.
Oh, bus. We're not here
yeah,
trains.
yeah,
Okay, anyway.
Yeah. Buses. But actually, bringing up trains, I would love to bring back
I
the
would
idea
love
of the
to have
brain
trains.
train
We have
too.
all these train tracks
Yeah.
and no trains. I feel
How
like
cool would it be to have trains that bring you back to Atlanta?
Why not?
That'd be so awesome.
Why not? Right?
Why? That'd be so awesome.
Exactly.
I know, but
It's on my platform.
At the same time, you say that, and there's this little part of me that's saying, "Don't believe them again. They'll just say something so exciting, and they'll let you down later."
But again, you can look. Anybody who wants to look up, I think you can still find my platform from 2014 on there. It's amazing the number of things that we actually got passed that were on that platform from 12 years ago. And again, things that we're told that we can never get done, we got them passed when I was on the commission. So I feel very confident that we can get some of these bold things done that will improve people's lives. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a true possibility. We could have the brain train, but we need to have strong leadership that's going to push through those things and make it happen. So, yeah.
So in 2014, that mayoral campaign was unsuccessful, correct? You did not win?
I came in second place.
The winner was someone also named
There was two people,
Denson,
yeah.
correct?
It was.
Do you think people just maybe got confused at the ballot? Like, do you ever like
Maybe
tell
they
yourself
wanted to
that?
vote for you.
They
Yeah.
all meant to vote for me, but
And they just,
59% of them voted for the wrong Denson. Yeah, I guess that's, yeah.
I guess my question is, since then, what have you learned about running a mayoral campaign?
Oh, a ton, and not just about the campaigns. So here's an important thing that I brought up is that I think the most valid criticism about me when I ran in 2014 was that I was inexperienced. I had people tell me, like, you have great ideas, but you've never worked in government before. You don't know how to get these things done. And that was valid. So what I did immediately after that, as I know, we formed Athens for Everyone, a 501c4 nonprofit that ended up having almost 1,500 members at its largest point. But not only that, I also went and started applying for different government roles. I applied to be on the Vision Committee, got picked to be on the Vision Committee. I just started to work on different nonprofits, such as Envision Athens. I started working, obviously to become a county commissioner, and did that. Started studying housing policy and homeless service policy and transportation policy, so I could actually be that experienced person that I was told I was not, rightfully. And so now, 12 years later...
With a little bit of white hair on your beard.
More than a little bit, buddy. More than a little bit. Yeah, don't look up pictures of me 12 years ago. It does, yes. Every white hair is a new thing I learned. Yeah, exactly.
It's a new policy lesson about
Exactly.
transportation and homelessness.
And so that's why now I think I'm the most experienced person and most prepared to actually take on as mayor, yeah.
Of course. And we were interested in this. College students are interested in this. You talked about the decriminalization decriminalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
In the South, where, of course, there's not a history of being extremely open about it, you say you've done a lot of work for the decriminalization
I
of
thought you were going
marijuana.
to say I've done a lot of marijuana, but yeah.
Well, have you? Have you?
I've done my fair share.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad that our mayor is making sure the pot we're smoking is good.
Yeah.
That reassures me for sure.
Yeah.
How do you feel about other candidates who may not be as open about the topic, and how would you counter that and say, why do you think marijuana does not constitute a problem for young people, and instead it might be something that has some positive connotations with it?
Yeah, you know, I mean, marijuana it's very much like alcohol, right? But this is something that we've completely accepted. I mean, alcohol, if you consume too much and in the wrong context, absolutely dangerous. Same exact thing with marijuana. But I think the truth of it is this. People are going to smoke pot. They're going to. They are going to. And trying to act like somehow that we can be this overly, judicious, overly just like, bringing the hammer down on people for smoking some pot is going, we have seen the war on drugs has created more problems, much more problems than it has helped anything. And not only that, right, but what it does is it creates a deregulated marketplace of drugs and marijuana in which you don't know the quality, right? I mean, man, you don't want, it's bad enough you get like something that has like a bunch of seeds in it, but man, if you get something that has like some really fentanyl or something, who knows?
Yeah.
So it makes a lot more sense for it to be regulated. Not only that, governments can make revenue off of it. We see places like Colorado where they pay for mental health care and they pay for child care out of the revenue they make off of selling marijuana legally there. To me, it is absolutely idiotic that we're not doing this here in the state of Georgia. Because again, people are smoking marijuana everywhere. Guarantee you somebody in this room right now is high. And that's absolutely fine. They're not bothering anybody.
My camera people especially.
I think we're just dealing with it the wrong way. I want us to push towards an acceptance that this is a thing that's part of our society, and make sure that it is therefore a part that is in the safest kind of way that's going to also bring back community benefits to our community. And that's why whenever I was a commissioner, I pushed for marijuana decriminalization, in which we got that put in place. And I'm very glad we are. Of course, we have the state governments pushing back against us, the federal government's pushing back against us on levels too, but I will be constantly advocating for us to have it as legal as possible. And not only that, we also see the racial disparities of it, right? I mean, the fact is that, again, the war on drugs and even particularly marijuana has these racial components in which the people who are being arrested for these things much more often were people of color. I think a lot of times that's right there. I mean, there's just so many problems with this. So, yeah. I think if anybody is not accepting this and understanding it, one, either they really don't understand our community and society, or they're just not being willing to be genuine and talk honestly.
Well, I think there's some fear component too. I always think when this polarization happens over a certain topic, there's always a big component of fear.
Sure.
And then, you might be able to justify that fear, but I think that's the main X, Y, and Z that are playing in this equation of I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to take myself away from that topic. And you're talking to somebody who's in favor of it, but I think at the end of it, there's always a component of fear.
Oh yeah, I think
of the repercussions that may bring. They might not know marijuana very well. They might not know how it feels. They might not know how their son or daughter may react.
But should we be voting for a person who's ignorant on those things?
No, I agree with you.
So
I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
That what I'm saying is, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are going to see this and be like, oh, people on the other side, they have no idea what they're talking about, and feed into this context of anger that we've experiencing in young politics too. And here comes my other question that has to do with this.
All right.
We know, we've learned over the years what the Republicans stand for nationally. What to me, as an Italian coming here to the United States, was difficult to understand is how broad the Democrats are how broad the ideas that the Democrats have within the party itself. There's like 15 different types of Democrat in my mind, amongst the people I've met here in the United States. And so is there as much variety amongst the Democrats as there is nationally here in Athens, or do you think they're more united towards one specific goal?
I think that, I know for a fact there is a very broad spectrum of Democrats. I was the chair of the Athens Clarke County Democrats for 4 years, and so I worked with that broad spectrum. There was definitely a lot of times I had to try to bring together a group that differed on a number of issues. And I think the best way that I can answer this question is how I fit into Democratic politics. And the way I do it is this. It's based on my values and my beliefs. I believe that we should be a community that takes care of each other and that cares for people first and foremost. I think that before we start focusing on businesses being able to make profit or something like that, we need to first and foremost make sure that people have basic human rights such as housing and food and childcare.
The base of the pyramid,
The base of the pyramid, And so I think that should be our priority. And so then I look at this as an organizer. What are the best entities and groups that are working towards that goal? And the Democratic Party is far from perfect. Again, I was a chair of the party for 4 years here, far from perfect. But I definitely see them as the largest political party that has the most overlap with those goals that I have. And so that's why I vote Democrat almost every single time. That's why I work with the Democratic Socialists and the Athens area Democratic Socialists, because they also believe that we should be taking care of each other and taking care of the people and making sure their basic rights are fulfilled first and foremost.
Yeah. So. Bex is really good at taking care of people when he's in a good mood.
Oh, yeah. So I was kind of telling Max this. I have a bit of a theory about homelessness, if you will, or at least how to help the homeless. So I feel like, at least in my experience, I'm more likely to, say, give money to a homeless person if I'm in, like, a really good mood, right?
Sure.
And I think, like a good example of that is, like, if I just got laid, and then I'm, like, walking around and I see a homeless person.
I'm scared of where this is going.
I feel like I'm, like, way more likely to, like, give him, like, $10.
Okay.
So with that logic in mind, I feel like homeless people are, really rooting for me.
Okay.
Just what do you think about that?
Honestly, I think they are rooting for you. I think most of Athens is rooting for you. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, Tim Denson.
I'm rooting for you.
I appreciate it.
I want you to get laid as much as you can.
Thank you, Tim.
And therefore give money to folks who need some money. So I'm all in on this theory.
I think it's a vibes thing. I bring it back to vibes. It's always a vibes thing.
I want you to go back home and tell your girlfriend tonight, Tim Denson, future mayor of Athens, endorsed me to get laid tonight.
I will.
With full consent.
With full consent, of course.
All right. Thank you, Max, for that.
No, that's funny. No, the last time I left some money, and again, unfortunately I don't get to do that as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
Because
me too.
I'm a student. Because I'm a student and I don't have a big budget, so I would like to do that more. The last time I did it, and it made me laugh when he told me that story before the show. The last time I did it was when I passed the what is it called? The emission test for my 2005 Subaru Forester. I was really excited. I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll go full in.
So here's the thing. You need to change your car registration in Athens, Clarke County. We'll get your revenue, and you don't have to do an emissions test.
No, wait, hold on. I think you already don't have to do an emission test in Athens.
Right.
I did it because I was going to Atlanta.
Oh, no, yeah, exactly. Other counties still require it.
Yeah.
But to touch on this whole issue, though, this is the thing, right? This is something that's broken, is that people shouldn't have to rely on our charity for their basic rights, right?
I agree.
I think we should all agree about that. That's one of the things that's broken about charity. We talk about charity a lot as the fix for homelessness, as the fix for these things. It shouldn't be. We should be, our society should be able to work on those things, and that way you don't have to hand out your $10. Everybody's got their basic things. I mean, you still can when you're really happy and you just got laid. Yeah, throw that money, make it rain. I mean, that's great. But
systems and patterns. And
there's people who spend money to get laid, and some people who spend money after they get laid.
Yeah,
why not?
Just
either one.
Cause and effect. So, I feel like as a college student, if you're struggling in class, you can use ChatGPT or AI if you're really struggling with your work. You're about to be...
Look at his face. He didn't completely agree with that.
You might be the mayor, so
sure.
Would you ever use ChatGPT if you're really struggling?
No, I'm not. I'm not much of a fan, I gotta say. I'm very worried about the full-on embracing of AI. Part of it, right? It's linked to this whole data center thing. We have every single mayoral candidate is against data centers coming here, including myself. But we have to also think like, why are these data centers being created, and is our behaviors as individuals driving the need for the existence of these data centers? So it's something we got to think about. But no, I like to write. I've always been a writer. Yeah. I like to handwrite things. I like to really think through it's how I think through my thoughts. Now I'm not gonna say. I mean, I've actually tried ChatGPT for a few things. It usually doesn't end up saving me very much time. So,
by the way, did you know that whatever you ask ChatGPT, ChatGPT gives you back? You have the right to that content because ChatGPT is only as good as the question you ask it.
Sure.
And so, whenever ChatGPT gives you something, it is the result of your question.
Yeah.
And so, you only have the right to that. Did you know that?
I think we talked about that for a little bit. I think it's interesting. I think I mean, I don't ever use AI for school, but
right.
You know, I think I think there's pros and cons of it, like anything. I think if you really know what you're doing, I think it's useful. But
it can be.
It's a separate debate.
But even on that, though, right? The rights, and that's one of the important things about it. That's the way it should be. But as soon as you use it, you have clicked through to an agreement where you are giving up the rights to that.
You are giving up the rights to what you wrote and gave to chat.
Yeah.
But chat will never completely copy and paste and give it to someone else. So it might be the result of a part of your work, but it will never be the work itself.
Why don't we test it? Why don't we just say if there's like a big issue, something comes across your desk, you can just do like ChatGPT.
Yeah, what should we do if ICE comes to Athens? ChatGPT, what should we do as mayor?
You could ask.
I just became mayor of Athens. What should I do? ICE is coming over here. I told my electors I would try to stop them, but I don't know how to.
Well, I was telling you, I think the next episode you should do should just be with an AI mayor, and you just throw all these questions and just have AI just answering it back to you. See who does better.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
we had some doubts whether Fisher was AI, so we asked him, and he said no. But you seem pretty human.
If you put me through one of those filters, I come back 100% human every time.
Okay. Let's say you win the elections.
Yeah, let's say it.
Let's say you win, hypothetically. I'm not going to be here pushing you or another candidate. I'm not partisan. Hypothetically, you win the elections. Mm-hmm. How many times can you run in Athens?
So you can serve 2 terms.
2 terms?
Yeah.
Would you try to go for a 3rd term?
I would not. I'm pretty sure I'll be exhausted at that point. And
I don't know where I saw it on the news. Somebody else was trying to do that. But
I mean, at that point, my daughter would be like going into college and stuff. And I would be tapping it out at that point. Yeah.
Now I'm just worried you're gonna get Athens with some conflict. Like you're gonna send some Athenian soldiers to Oconee, and then you'll be able to maintain power in Athens. It's gonna be. Don't do that.
It's been discussed, but yeah.
You mentioned how you're doing a lot of door-to-door campaigning earlier. I have to ask, what's the craziest thing someone's done when you've knocked on their door?
So I mean, I have knocked on literally thousands of doors during my years of. So I'll stretch outside of. I've had one of my volunteers, one of my great friends, get a gun pulled on him.
Really?
One time, yes.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah. But I've never had that happen. Mm-hmm. Honestly, what most of mine is around is like cute cats. Like cats come rubbing up around you, like rub your leg.
You have to pet the cat. You can't be like, cat.
No, I love cats. Exactly, and it brings us boundary. It's like, this is great. I have come across a snake. As I coming out of the doormat, as I was knocking on the door, kind of gave me a little bit of a fright.
Yeah, that's the one where you have to be like, cute snake.
Cute snake. Yeah, I reached down and pet it.
Because you're sure they're not going to give you their vote, so you got to be nice to the snake.
Every vote counts.
What I worry about is in situations especially like that is that everybody has Ring cameras so much that I worry about like they probably got like a really me like completely freaking out for a second about this snake coming out.
You're on thousands of Ring cameras. That footage is somewhere.
I am. Yeah, it's true.
Do you want to get into our 3-second question?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
So,
introduce the game, Bex.
Absolutely.
This is your game.
So we do this little segment on campus sort of frequently. We go on and we have a little booth. It's called 3-second interviews. The whole
I've seen
thing is
those,
we ask you a question, you only have 3 seconds to answer.
Literally, are you going to cut me off if I don't answer in 3 seconds?
We'll cut you off. I mean,
Yeah.
But we gave Mr. Fisher 5
we'll
seconds.
give you're good company, so we'll give you like 5 seconds.
Okay, all right.
We're not
all right.
changing the name, but it's like 5 seconds.
Okay.
So, it's just to keep you on your toes. You
All
gotta
right.
answer questions fast.
That's true.
Max, I'll start. You only have 3
Okay.
seconds to answer. Dexter Fisher said he thinks he could bench you. Would you like that if he offered?
No.
Thank you. Yeah, perfect. You get it. Yeah, only 3 seconds.
When I asked him last time, he goes, guys, I used to play football. I'm like, I can tell. You look like the type of guy who could probably lift all of us 3.
He's a strong guy.
What's your best memory in Athens?
Best memory
Time
of
is up.
Athens.
Thank you very much. You got the next one, Bex?
I do. It's fast, you got to be quick.
That was less than 3 seconds.
What's your go-to song to play on guitar?
Oh, Jesus, man.
Time is up.
Big Stars 13.
Okay.
We might have to cut that out of the episode. We might have to cut that out.
Okay.
Do socialists like football?
Yes, this one does.
Okay.
I played football too. Yeah, so hey, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What would you tell the 2014 version of Tim Denson?
Keep going.
Time is up. Beautiful. I like that. Name a word that has 3 letters.
No, say it again. Name an award?
Name a word that has 3
Word?
letters. See, he's trying to get time. He's doing that.
I thought he said award.
Politicians.
One.
Okay.
3 letters?
He had plenty of time. We might have to cut that out, too.
Why are you
I'm not
running?
liking the way you're approaching this game.
He's being strategic.
He's
Okay,
being
I
very
got one, I got
strategic.
one.
Okay.
3 seconds. Why are you running for mayor?
To help people.
Could you say something nice about Republicans?
They're people.
Or people? 5 seconds.
Who should people vote for in the next election?
Me.
All right, that's it. 3 seconds.
Tim Denson, everybody. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks,
on the
guys.
show. Shout out to Sully Steamers. Thank you so much for the delicious bagels. We appreciate it. Thank you, Tim, for coming.
Thank
on.
you.
Thanks, guys.